Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with my very first review of a product from a company called Sudio. Now, they are a Swedish company, and these are their true wireless series earbuds, the Tolv, T-O-L-V. Now, I happen to like them quite a bit. They're really fancy. They've got this very smooth looking case. Actually has a really smooth texture to it. It feels kind of nice, but everything about them is built with a simplicity in design concept. Everything is very ergonomic, it's very comfortable, and it also has a nice, natural, smooth sound that I think is really good. So before I give too much away about these earphones, let's go ahead and take a closer look, do an unboxing, and then we'll discuss, the merit of these earphones, talk about the sound quality, talk about price, talk about where they fit in with other earphones here at the end of 2019. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at these Sudio Tolv earphones. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the box. These are the Sudio Tolv True Wireless Earphones, 7 hours of playtime, up to 35 hours total with 4 additional charges. You've got the graphene drivers, which give you that crisp, clear quality audio that they have. And then one nice thing is, of course, it's got the little lanyard that's attached to it. And then it comes in a lot of different colors. And I thought that was cool too. So you can kind of pick and choose which one that you want to match your individual style or preference. They come in gray, black, green, blue, white, and also pink. So I went with this baby blue color, and it's got a really nice, smooth, velvety texture to it. I was surprised by that, and I think that it's nice. It's got a micro USB charging port on the back, and then the clamshell opens up. It's very easy to access them. And one thing that I like about these earbuds is they're very easy to take out of the case, and they're very easy to put back in the case. Now, that may seem like something simple, but that's really one thing that these are designed around is simplicity of design. And that goes a long way, whether it's comfort in wearing them, whether it's stowing them back in the case, taking them out, the sound experience, all of that stuff. It's very nice and it's refreshing and it's simple that they just put the effort into making a good quality product and not trying to go crazy with it. All right, so you've got the guarantee certificate here, the little warranty card. The earbuds do have a 1-year warranty on them, which is on par with the rest of the industry. Now, one thing I do want to mention, it does have 93 decibel volume level, which is really good. Anything over 90, I think, is probably what people expect, and it does offer a good quality sound experience. The volume is adequate. Of course, I always want it to be louder, so if it were a little bit louder, I would be happy, but this takes you to beyond probably most people's comfort level when it comes to the volume, so you can listen to it comfortably on 80, 90%, and I don't think you'll have any issues. Now, inside here, you've got the documentation. Tells you a little bit more about the product itself. Then you do have the multifunction buttons on the backs of the earbuds. So the way that those work, thank goodness they're not the touch sensitive tiles. I'm really not a fan of those. Also here you have the probably one of the world's smallest micro USB cables, but it's really cool because it's color matched to the carrying case and the earbuds themselves. So I thought that that was really cool. There are 4 sets of ear tips. You have 3 in the bag here and then the ones that are already on it for a total of 4. So you can size them for your individual fit and comfort. So that's nice. Instead of having 3 like a lot of standard ones do, they have 4. So I did appreciate that they have that in there. So back to the buttons. So you have the multifunction button on the back. You can see there looks silver. It contrasts with the earbuds and the earbud case itself. Very easy to press. Nice responsive feedback on it, and you don't have to press it too hard, so you're not going to dislodge the earbuds from your ear while you're trying to use the functions for the buttons. If you do want to use it to control the audio or the phone, it's very easy. You can press the button to play or pause. You can also advance the track or go to the previous track, and you can even access your smart assistant such as Siri or your Google Assistant. Now, they do take an hour and a half to charge when you put them in the case, which I think is pretty reasonable. And then just taking a look at them here, you can see that they've got a really nice presentation and they've got the microphones built into them as well. So they're the total package when it comes to earphones. All right, so I want to go ahead and demonstrate putting them in. You can see what they look like while they're being worn. You can see that they're very flush with the ear. They don't really stick out. They have a nice, snug, and comfortable wearing experience, and they're good for long-term wear, which is something that I appreciate. Because if you have earphones, sometimes you want to wear them for a long time. You don't want them to hurt your ear. And I felt that these were very comfortable, and they stay in the ear pretty well also. All right, so first things first, they have 7 hours of playtime, and you can get an additional 4 charges out of the box, so you can get up to 35 total hours of playtime combined whenever you take a look at both of those. So, pretty cool there. The case, as we looked at, it's nice up close. They have lots of different colors to choose from, and I've been really impressed with them. Now, they aren't the most amazing when it comes to volume. They aren't the most amazing when it comes to bass. They aren't the most amazing when it comes to treble. Let's just go ahead and put them in the boxes. They're not the most amazing at one single thing. But what they do offer is a very balanced and natural sound experience. And this approach is one that I think that you're going to appreciate. Because whenever it comes to a lot of earphones, they overemphasize the bass or they overpower the mids. It's always hard, especially without getting an equalizer, to get a nice natural sound that reflects what the music is supposed to sound like and then translate that into an earphone experience. And I think that Sudio did that really, really well with the Tolv earbuds. Now, I listened to them. I listened to a lot of different music, really. I listened to Linkin Park. I listened to Metallica. I listened to some Simple Plan. I listened to some Angels and Airwaves. I listened to some classical. And I really wanted to get a well rounded feel for what these earbuds brought to the table because one, I'd never heard of them before. And two, I've been listening to so many other earphones lately. I really felt that it was compelling for me to go ahead and look at it and give it a really objective look and sense for what they bring to the table. And like I talked about here a few minutes ago, really, I think the greatest thing is just the consistency, the natural sound. It's like these earphones are like whenever you get into a car, like you get into a Cadillac or you get into one with an enhanced stereo system, and it just sounds good. You don't need to go out and buy the aftermarket subwoofer. You don't need to go out and get extra tweeters installed. You don't need an amplifier. Everything is right here in the box, and it sounds really good. So I think that's probably the best way I can explain that. So it's not like you turn them on and you're overpowered or you have to mess with the settings. They're very much like the AirPods. I think that the sound quality and experience is very on par with what the AirPods bring to the table. I think they're slightly better than the Galaxy Buds, and the battery life is actually really good on these two, which is nice. And they're very comfortable. Now, when it comes to some cons, they don't have any ear stabilizers in them, so they're not the best for working out. If you're going to be doing a bunch of running, I mean, the way that they position and they sit in your ear, I mean, they're very comfortable and they stay nice and secure. But as you start, bouncing around and doing things like that, they do have a tendency to fall out sometimes. But if you have the appropriate size ear tips, they should be fine, and I don't think you'll have too much of a problem. But I did like that, and overall, I really like the sound experience, and they're comfortable. I listened to them for several hours. I played some games. Oh, one other thing, there's a little bit latency when it comes to some games. So, like I was playing the Mario Kart game, and it was kind of like a quarter second behind the action. But whenever you're watching YouTube, you're listening to music, or you're watching videos, I didn't have any problems with latency there. So I think it's just dependent on certain types of games and maybe some of the programming. They don't have aptX support. They do have AAC, which is good, but they could have gone the extra mile. But even for $129, you also look at the Galaxy Buds, and they don't have aptX support as well. So it's not a deal breaker, but it doesn't have that same. It doesn't have that higher level of codec processing, so you have less latency. So that's one of the only other issues. So no aptX support and no ear stabilizers. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints about them. I do wish the volume did go a little bit higher, but for my wife, she puts it on like 50-60%, and she's like, "Oh, turn it down, it's too loud." I turn it on 100%, and it sounds great, but then you kind of get used to it after about 15-20 minutes, and then it's just a nice, easy, smooth listening volume. So I can't hear for anything, so I do wish that earbuds did get a little louder, but that's not, I don't think, a complaint that the rest of the world that doesn't have hearing issues like me will suffer from. But overall, I really like them. I think that they're fantastic earbuds, and I think that you'll probably be happy if you pick up a pair. All right, so With regard to the phone calls, I did make a couple of phone calls, tested them out in different environments, and it's kind of a mixed bag. As long as you're not inside an echoey room, it works pretty well. You can hear really well regardless. The sound quality, the pickup on the earphones for you is good, but when talking to other people, I called my wife and she was like, it sounds a little echoey. Like I called from the kitchen, it's tile, all that good stuff. So sound kind of bounces around a little bit more. So she said it was kind of echoey and not that great when I called from the kitchen. But like when I went into the living room or went into the bedroom, there's carpet. The sound is not so bad. And she said that she could hear me just fine. So um, as far as outside, I mean, it's not. You can still hear well even with the noise. There's no active noise cancellation, but the sound isolation is decent, and you can hear pretty well. So it's just a matter of it's better for you than it is for the person that you're calling. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the functionality. So I wish that you could listen to these independently. Now you can pair them independently, but you can't listen to both earphones at the same time. And then if you put the right earbud back in, that's the controlling earphone. The left one will shut off. So you can listen to both of them at the same time. If you take the left one out and put it in, the right one will still keep playing. But if you're listening to both of them and you take the right one and put it in the case, then the left one will shut off. So it's the left one is dependent on the right one, which is pretty typical. Just something that for $129, I think they should both be able to work independently, and not just the one off where you can use the right and not the left. Now for me that's fine. I prefer to use the right one, but if you like to just use the left one, then you're kind of out of luck in that regard. All right, so that's all I have on my review of the Sudio Tolv earphones. Now, again, they are $129. You can find them at Best Buy. You can go through the Sudio website. But overall, I think that they're solid earphones. And of course, with this review, I wasn't paid for this or compensated for it in any way. This was sent out as a review unit. Sudio is not getting to see this before I release the video, so um, regular disclaimer stuff. But I think that they're good earphones. I think they're worth $129. The quality is really good. The functionality is excellent. And I really appreciate the nice, natural, smooth listening experience. It's very reflective of what the instruments and the music are supposed to sound like. And I think that goes a long way because there is some power behind it, especially in the bass and in the mids as well. So you get a really good, smooth listening experience, and the vocals are good too. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and watching the video. If you like the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can get notice for the latest and greatest videos. So that's all, and I'll see you guys next time.